Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Planet Coaster. Today is Let's Build Pirate Valley Part 9. 9 parts into this series, and today is possibly the most tedious episode thus far. Not because we were necessarily building anything complex, and I will say, there's not really anything spectacular in this episode, and I probably shouldn't say that, because that's like the opposite of Hype 101. Like, no one sat down when marketing a movie or something and went, there's nothing spectacular about this movie, but watch it anyway, please. No one sat down and went like, oh, what show did I watch recently that was utter crap? I don't know. I know that we'll use The Ridiculous 6, that Adam Sandler movie exclusive to Netflix that probably no one has seen, let's be honest. But yeah, no one sat down before that one. It's a bit crap, but you'll watch it anyway. Which I did, and spoiler, it's a bit crap. Anyway, Planet Coaster, let's actually talk about the thing. What we're doing today is some work that has been needed for a while. We're actually building a system to get down from the upper part of, not the upper part, from the main street down towards the docks. I'm building this big wall, I'm building a lot of ramps, and basically, I'm bridging the gap that was there. There was one path down to this area. There are now technically two, and a couple of different ways into the docks area, which is something we've needed for a while. I also fill in some space once we get down there, and towards the end of this, I actually do some stuff with rocks. I basically just fill in the cave that is behind the prison to just make it a big wall. I put a big skull there as well. And a few people, when I was streaming this, because by the way, every Let's Build and Planet Coaster is streamed the day before in real time, obviously, over on twitch.tv/ConflictNerdTV, where you can get flag facts live. Speaking of flag facts, don't have any today, but we'll get to that. I have got some general facts about the United Kingdom, so we're going to go with that in just a little bit, but I do want to talk about what we're doing. Twitch chat did say at the time, regarding the cave, that I could do some cool rides in there. I could do a roller coaster through it. I could do something in there. Some people were saying, hey, put toilets in there to make it functional, which that has become a joke at this point, because I frequently say I put toilets in places to make it something that people use so that people go in there. That's now a joke. Thanks, guys. But, no, I didn't do anything with the cave. I just block it up because in my mind, that cave is either going to be used for the actual pirate section of the park or not at all. I like the idea, though, that could actually be a dark ride somewhere down the line in the pirate section. A sort of almost like a ghost train or something. I think that could be kind of cool to go through the cave and sort of have a ghost train with skulls and weird lights and all that kind of cool stuff. Because the cave is a little bit darker and it's definitely interesting. The one downside though is that this map, the nighttime on this map just zooms by so quickly. So that's why you don't often see night shots of anything I build here in Pirate Valley. I'm hoping that it'll get fixed with the May 24th update. And to be honest, I was looking at the May 24th update, and I was thinking to myself, will I still be doing Pirate Valley on May 24th? Because if you don't know, May 24th is when the terraforming and terrain editing is due to come to Planet Coaster with the next alpha update, which I'm super excited about. But I'm also kind of reluctant to check it out. I think I mentioned this before. I think I'm completely repeating myself. But I am hoping that update will change the way lighting works in this map, because it would be really nice to have lengthy night times where I can really toy with lighting, because lighting is one of the most beautiful things about this game, and I miss it so much, because I don't get to really play with it on this map. There's no point, because it's never nighttime. And I have played with it in some places, but it's just, there's not much point. There really isn't, so hopefully, that'll be a thing I can deal with in the not-too-distant future. I think there's a way to tweak the day and night cycle. I've heard some rumors that it's been done here and there, so I might look into that. But we'll see. Anyway, what we've been doing here is just filling in a bunch of spaces with rocks and plants and leaves and all that stuff to make it look like there aren't massive gaps and large holes beneath these pathways. basically making it look like it is all built up. And this is something I've seen a few people doing this, and it's a fairly common trick that people use. It's not even a trick, really. But it's a fairly common technique to, why did I say technique? That's a way I said that word. But yeah, it's a fairly common technique that people use to, just build up areas. People put buildings up on rocks. I've used it in the Planet Coaster Let's Play. I used it with the, Star Wheel as well. I raised it up and made it look like it was on a platform of rocks, which looks kind of cool. I do something similar with this in a few places. I put some rocks in to make it look like this isn't just a giant wall, although it is mostly just a giant wall. Not quite as cool of a giant wall as the giant wall we have down by the port section, but it's another giant wall. Which, I don't know, man. I feel like we should have built a wall and made the pirates pay for it, but it's a little bit late. We've already got the wall. It's... I don't know. Anyway, we are just going to be finishing it off shortly. What I end up doing, actually, was something that was suggested in chat, funnily enough, whilst streaming it, which was to make a pathway down at the bottom of it that sort of goes across the wall. It's a width of 7. It connects at one end, it goes through a little alleyway, and it is just this really nice space. Like, I like what I do between the barracks and the wall, and between the tavern and the wall, and just everything kind of in between. I think the space gets filled up really nicely, and it's yeah, it just works. It really does. We get this alleyway there, we connect everything down at the other end as well, and I absolutely adore how this whole thing turned out. I'm gonna be honest. I mentioned earlier, and I mentioned at the start of this isn't the most exciting episode. The reason for that is, number one, because we're not building anything necessarily grand, but number two, because this is work that has been needed to be done for a while. This is kind of filling in the blanks that I don't know what to do with, basically. Because a lot of the blank space in this park has come about because I've built these cool structures, and I've had these cool ideas, and I've said, oh, a barracks would be cool here, a prison would be cool here. Roller coaster goes here, we do this, we do that, blah, blah, blah. But then you're left with gaps because not everything fits together perfectly, and it's not designed to. Every building is supposed to be unique, every pathway is supposed to sort of go to its own location. We have the market, which is a interesting place. The prison's an interesting shape. The barracks has a sort of courtyard thing with a build. Like, nothing fits together perfectly, and that's kind of the way a settlement, a town, a port like this would work. It's the way towns work. Nothing fits together perfectly. And it's why some towns have little cramped buildings in alleyways, because that's the only thing they could fit in there. In this case, I decided to turn this empty space into a fairly major pathway. In fact, the only pathway down to this part of the park. And I put a sign down there, I put some plants in, I made it really pleasant. And again, coming back to what I was saying about lighting, it's times like this I would love a full-on night system, like a nighttime in this map, because this area could look so cool with a bunch of lights shining down off of the wall, but unfortunately that's not a thing I can do, because again, the night time on this map lasts about 3 seconds, which is great, because I remember, like, early on in this series, I was trying to get cinematic shots, trying to get screenshots, trying to just get stuff that looked really pretty, and I remember I was sitting there just looking at it going, it's going to be nighttime in a minute. It'll be nighttime in a minute. And then it would, like, flash through nighttime, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I need to sit here for another 10 minutes and wait for nighttime. Let's try it again. And it would flash through nighttime again, and I would just give up. It's, again, I mentioned it a second ago, it's why I don't really do night shots. Anyway, I did mention we didn't have a flag fight today. Reason for that, this is weird. Having flag fights in Planet Coaster videos, I'm not used to it. It's still really, really weird, guys. But I didn't have a flag fight on stream. I don't remember why, but we didn't. So, what we'll do to make up for that is something that some people have suggested, which, again, is a weird suggestion for a Planet Coaster Let's build. We'll get to it in a second, actually. What we're building at the moment is, this building here is the Dockmaster's building. which has a big clock on it that looks ridiculous, but we'll get to that. So, the flacts. Hey, I've just combined flag and facts. Flacts. Okay, let's never say that again. The facts for today are quite simple. They're about the United Kingdom. And the first one is that people have been living in the UK for about 30,000 years, in case you didn't know that. The Channel Tunnel connects the UK to France. It's the world's longest underground tunnel at 38 kilometers underwater. Let's see, the Channel Islands and the Isle of Man do not form part of the United Kingdom. And the Summer Olympic Games have been held in London on 3 occasions, in 1908, 1948, and 2012. The United Kingdom team is referred to as Team GB, because the United Kingdom's official name is the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. And I live in the part that gets its own little part of that title. You have United Kingdom of Great Britain, which is Great Britain is England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. On one hand, I'm proud that we get singled out. On the other, I feel like we're being singled out. But I can live with that. Northern Ireland is somewhat used to being singled out for many things. Anyway, we're currently building a clock tower, which is something that I'm a little bit divided on, because there's no big circular piece I could put on its side for this. So I had to use this ridiculous red and white sign, which you'll see in a second. I think at this point in the video we are more or less done with it. You'll see in a second. Looks bloody ridiculous. Like, really bloody stupid. But it is the only sort of vertical circular piece. People were saying use fountain bases for it, but you can't. So I don't know. We had to use this red and white thing. It looks ridiculous, but it is most definitely a clock, and you can see it from far away. So we went with it. Anyway, what we're doing at the moment is just filling in all of the rocks behind the prison, like I said we were going to do. And really, I'm pretty sure this is the last thing we do in this episode. I'm also fairly sure that this is pretty much everything done in this part of the park. Next episode, we're probably going to get on with some actual pirate stuff, which is fitting considering it's episode 10. There is a space or two I want to tweak in the park. In this upper area, but I don't really think it's going to warrant a full episode, so I'll probably do that off camera and show it at the beginning of the next one. But yeah, that is going to be it for today. Again, not the most exciting episode, but a bunch of stuff that we needed to get done so we can get into the pirate stuff next time. So yes, if you have any suggestions for Pirate Valley, do feel free to let me know. Once again, this is streamed live on twitch.tv/ConflictNerdTV. Oh god, if you like the video, like the video. If you dislike it, dislike it. But like I said, that's going to be it. Thank you, Ken, for watching, and I will see you next time. And don't click off the video. There's about to be some cinematics. Bye-bye!